Wow. Okay. I think we're in an agricultural time when Egypt ran really good. That's what I think we're getting here. This is really trippy. That's what I think we're getting. Someplace where corn and harvest is high and it's really, really good. And for some reason, I'm getting Egypt. Now, I don't know what this is about, but this is what we're getting. And this is a powerful time. This is near Egypt. What is this? This is a time in Egypt when women had actually more power than people realize, and our histories wouldn't record it as such, but it existed. It was there. The women were the brokers of the business, understood trade routes and travel. We're way back in time. Way back. I'm getting shades of Petra, although I don't think it was Petra, but it very has a familiar, similar thing. The wild harvest and the woman, very, very much powerful women as far as making choices about what's going on. And this is like the choices of trade and agricultural, definitely in the women's hands, definitely a more matriarchal type of society. If the men are away, the women are handling business, handling things. Yeah, Petra is the closest thing I would know to call this towards. This is more than the usual amount of power. It's not necessarily royalty, but it's more than the usual amount. You're getting the harvest. You know the fields. You know what's going on there. You're definitely understanding the yield that comes forward from whatever it is that you've planted. You understand how to use this and leverage. The older woman who died. Now this is interesting. The older woman who died taught you songs of the field, songs of the harvest. It's the songs you remember, and it's the things that she taught you that are like in your bones that help you create more abundance around you. She was a crafty old bat. That's what I'm getting. She was like a crafty older woman. This might be a grandmother, or if your mother was quite old, I'm not sure which. I'm going to have to, let me look. I don't know if this is your grandmother that dies and you take things on, or if your mother was older when she had you. Let's just get that, if you can get that a little more clearly, please. It was grandmother. Wheel of Fortune is older and older and weaves the shreds through. See the cooperative energy. She'd be like, listen, do you see the young men out there working? Look at this. You see the young men out there working? This is what they're doing. This is why they're planting. Do you see that little one? Do you see that? And she's pointing out the details of people working, people trading. Why are they trading? What comes into the harvest when? She's telling you all of this wisdom that she's seen about the trades and the trade routes and the travelers. And you're listening really, really close. And she's singing you little songs and braiding your hair. She's fiddling with your hair. She knows if she's telling you this as she's doing your hair that you're stationary, you're stuck. She's got you by the hair, you're stuck, you're getting your hair done, but she's teaching you. And she's singing you songs of like songs of the harvest, songs of the cornfield, songs of all of the yield that will come forward. 6 of Cups. You'll go back to these songs of childhood. You'll listen, you'll watch the birds. You know what the value is. You know when to make the choices, when to cut free. You know what bubbles up. Here we go. There's a sense of pleading for her to stay before she goes, that you really, really don't want this grandmother to go. You were close with this grandmother. You really, really don't want the universe to take her from you, but I think that you are aware enough to know that that is part of life, but you just don't want it to happen. I'm getting the age of 9. I think when you were 9, your grandmother passed us. You become a weaver. There's a certain temperance factor that comes, this balancing the universe and the earthly is coming with this, and it's like she's the weaver, she understands the weaver, she understands all the threads of fate and all the different routes and all the things that, the roads. It's like she would weave ribbons into your hair and tell you what traveled on a certain road. There's the red road, there's the green road, there's the blue road. Each of these things she would weave and tell you stories about these travel roads. You would go through them and be like, oh, okay. And you would know because you would later undo your hair. There's going to be a little bit of a squawk about turbulence, but there's a playfulness and a lightness. And whenever you find yourself squawking or arguing, then you remember, like, you'll get a tug on the hair. You'll feel this, it's almost like she's there and she's yanking your hair and tugging your hair, like getting your attention again. That's a trip and a half. All right. Can we go here? Let's go here. These aren't it. It's not there. Hang on. Where is it? Going to the Anna K. It's modern imagery, but remember the space and time I told you of. Put it in that context. This feels like way old. You visit with her frequently. After she's gone, you visit with her when you're worried. You visit her when you're scared about things. She comes through very, very clearly and with answers. And you're pretty young. You're still leading. Still so much of the child is there with you, and she wants to keep that there with you. She wants to encourage that for you to continue being with that child. Yet you have to grow, you have to plant, you have to harvest, all this shit going on. You have to get responsible. Yet much of the child is there. Give me a second here. We've got 6 years now, going into the 7th. So this is like you're going about age 15, 16 here now. You've remembered, you've still had this, you've had a really extended long childhood before you go in and take all this on and lead and do all of this. She's in almost constant communication with you in the dream space. She'll say, remember when I was crossing over? So she'll say, remember about the day I died. Remember this song I taught you, blah, 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 blah. You'll be asleep. The song will come through. You'll sit by the river and you play with the river, play with the water as if that you're riffling through, again, this. And it helps you remember. You see the outsiders and you see the traveler's needs, and she's very, very much aware that you see the traveler's need. You also have some idiots come through town, and you make time for protective measures against the idiots that come through town. You put up signs, woven signs. It's like you put up signs like this is straw man, but you put up like dolls in the windows or something like that. You send signs through the town to the other women when there's unsavory elements coming through and you're aware of it. It's almost like you send the signal out that's like, okay, ladies, lock the doors. We've got some trouble headed our way. And they'll know, they'll pay attention. There comes a time where there's like a little bit of darkness and famine that's heading your way. It's almost like a weather event, like a little bit of drought or something has come, and the harvest isn't coming how it should. The trade isn't coming how it should. It's really difficult for the whole town. I'm seeing your grandmother ill here, but it's representative of the whole, everyone. Access to the wisdom, access to the judges, and access to the storehouse is needed. How do you get it? You're going to have to go pursue somebody that's in a stronger position of authority, that's masculine in the authority, in a time when there's a lot of women that are doing their own things, and it's like really not so fun. You're going to have to travel. It's like you travel, you hold up the banner, and you stand for this whole town in the eyes of the emperor. Does he see you? Yes, he does. You're victorious in getting what it is that you guys need for for the survival. I don't know if it's you need seeds, if you need crops, if you need grain or water or what, but you're victorious in getting that. You get a portion of it. You don't get all of it. You get enough. Your wisdom is enough to carry you through on the other side of that. You wish you would have gotten a little bit more, because some people aren't going to do as well as you're doing, but you get enough. You can see over the hurdle of this, and you can see the horizon. You've seen the patterns again. You go asking her, like, she's telling you to look to the ribbons you wear. Again, what is this about? She's telling you, look to the ribbons you wear, and look to the ribbons that are literally the vegetation. She's calling the vegetation ribbons. I think she's asking you to look at the grasslands. She's telling you that the whole valley, the whole grasslands is wearing ribbons, that you need to look. Again, like sharpen your lens. Look again. I think you will see things. I think you see color in the land. I think you literally see color a little bit differently than others. So you don't just see brown or you don't just see red. You see the shades in between. So you know where there's iron deposits. You know where there's different things. You know where there's different stuff that's the elements where things will grow, where there's more water. You know where this is, and it helps you. Again, in your dream space. It's been almost 2 years of this. You've got just a little bit longer. She's saying, stay rooted, don't give up hope. The feathers have been too dry for too long. There's a bracelet that was woven for you that you keep in it like a jar or something, some kind of vessel. You keep this bracelet in a jar and you go back to it, and there's a pattern of vining on it. The pattern of vining has some kind of story in it that reminds you of when her people first got there. It's part of the pattern, part of the story she knew that she passed down, that tells you this is what's here, this is what's there, this is how they gathered, this is how they created. She's connecting you with the cosmic here on this, telling you where to hunt and what will grow. And you're being like, she's giving instruction almost like you're the sunflower, and she's giving you a little bit of light to follow, light to follow, light to follow. She's giving you hints, so when you need the information, you access it, you go to it with huge clarity. You're right on point. There's some sort of trip that you take. You've gotten what you've gotten from the 1 year, and then there's another place that you have to go. You have to gather something. You don't know if you can do it. It feels a little bit scary for you, intimidating to go to do it, but you can do it. You're getting out of the valley, going way, way, way up into like a faraway area. I don't know if mountain is quite right, but far away. There's a gap in one place to another. You're not sure you want to do it. You're going to do it anyway. It's like something about these certain seeds that you have to go find and bring back. You're bringing seeds that are not native to this area back for the area. Hugely helpful. You're hugely sought out after this because you bring them, and it does create strength in the soil, in the growing of something. It creates strength there, and it grows, and it's very, very good. And you're hugely sought out after this. Here asks, how did you know to play the long game? How did you know how to play this long game? And it's this connection with his grandmother. Yeah. It's like you bring something forward that's a crop that would be an unexpected crop that would bring profit and that would bring enough nourishment to your town that it really was quite important. I think it saves the trade route. All right? Anything else? You're just grateful, and everyone is grateful. It's reverent appreciation of prayer. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's you had strength and you trusted this. You trusted this, trusted this, trusted this. And because you did, things went really well when they could have gone really shit sideways. And because of the climate conditions that created hardship, it could have been really, really bad. But instead you paid attention. Just like you did with the dolls when you would warn, hey, there's an unsavory bunch coming through, or there's unsavory weather coming through. Yeah, that's what I've got. That's complete. And how do you know to play the long game? Because you always play it intuitively. You go back to the ancestors that know. You go back. You remember this when you get this tug on the hair. You remember. It's like, hey, 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 hey. That's what I got. That's complete.
Okay.
Yeah, that's wild. But they usually are. It's like you just never know what's coming through. Yeah. Quite significant. Huh.